So, Captain America Brave New World just came out, and I gotta say, one of the biggest changes that happened, most likely during reshoots, was the leader's design. Look at the difference here. So, in the comics, this is what the leader looks like. He's basically green and just has a giant head because he's very intelligent. And his brain is massive. Now, this was teased all the way back in The Incredible Hulk when Tim Blake Nelson, Samuel Stern's character, had Gamma drip onto an open wound on his head. And when it was announced that he was going to come back as the leader, everyone assumed he was going to look like this. There was even Funko Pops designed after a comic book accurate leader, but for whatever reason, something changed and they changed up the design and made him look more like a zombie. And I think that was a huge mistake. Now, this is just my personal opinion, but I do not like this design. It doesn't look comic accurate. It looks kind of just gross. He's got like a slight green tint to his skin. He's got like his brain all deformed on top of his head. One eye looks like he's going blind. He's got a green eye for his right eye. I don't know what's going on here. Like, it just feels like it would have been a much easier thing to just make him look comic accurate versus whatever this is. And I understand some people like this design more, but honestly, I think the comic book accurate design would have looked a lot better. Here is some concept art that a fan has made of Tim Blake Nelson as a comic book accurate leader, and I gotta say, that looks pretty good. Green skin, it still looks like Tim Blake Nelson, he's got hair and everything. The only thing that's missing is the facial hair. And we know that was going to be featured in the design based off of official promo artwork for Captain America Brave New World. You can see right here, Tim Blake Nelson, he was going to have hair, his facial hair and everything, and I think this looks really, really good. And I don't know why they went away from this. Like, the only thing that I can think of is that the original version of this movie, before reshoots and rewrites and everything, I think the leader was going to look like this. But then they had to rework the movie and fit in like an entirely new story, and the leader was going to be this figure in the shadows and maybe not as prominent on screen. And maybe they couldn't afford to redo CGI or whatever for the leader, and then they were like, okay, let's just go practical. And that's how we got this design in the final cut of Captain America Brave New World. Now, that's just a theory, nothing is confirmed by any means, but I think that's really like the only thing that makes sense. Maybe the original version of the movie was going to have the leader featured more on screen, and he was going to be heavily CGI with the big head and everything, but maybe in the reshoots, they were like, we got to make this more of a shadowy figure who's not on the screen all the time. And maybe they couldn't afford to redo the CGI and make him look like the promo art and Funko Pop. I don't know. All I'm saying is that I don't think this looks as good as this. I think this is just an absolutely perfect design. I think it would have looked great in live action. But let me know down below in the comments what you think about this. Are you happy with the theatrical cuts design of the leader, or do you like the promo art version better? Let me know your thoughts down below.